And welcome back to Memoria. So this is Nuri.
Nuri hasn't been a fairy since last winter. I wonder if I could have saved Andergast if I hadn't transformed her.
Don't torture yourself, Geron. Things are as they are.
You
But they don't
transformed her.
have to stay that way.
A broken artifact.
Did it hurt when the artifact pulled your soul into the raven's body?
I don't know. It was worse before that. My fairy body was wilting away. That was much more painful.
I'm sorry. At that point, I could only save your soul, not your body. I often ask myself whether there wasn't another way after all. I tried everything. I asked Hazinda clerics, stole magic books from the school, made pacts with witches. Nothing and nobody can restore the power of the artifact. And anyway, Nuri's old body is lost forever. I hope this far he will keep his promise.
So even your little spell won't repair it?
Maybe it'll work this time. No, it's hopeless. The artifact will remain broken forever. Do you like your new bird tree?
Yes. Geron, why must I be a fairy again before we can leave here?
Because that's what you are. A fairy, not a raven. And Giacomo says we need to hurry about changing you back. He says that a fairy soul is a tender thing. Who knows what'll happen if it stays in the wrong body for too long. And it's much easier for me to protect you here than it would be on the road. If only you would let me protect you.
What? Ooh.
Ho ho, Nuri. I, King Chestnut, bid you good evening.
Good evening, King Chestnut.
Why so sad, my lovely?
I don't know. Right now, I just want to sleep.
Oh, that's a very wise idea. It's so wise that I hereby officially appoint you to be my Minister of Sleep.
Oh, thank you, dear King.
You have earned this title honestly.
Nuri's old chestnut mannequin.
Wow. It's like, what? What was that all about?
I never thought I could fix that after last winter. Nothing in there that could help Nuri. Healing herbs from the woods in case Nuri gets injured again.
I don't get injured very often. I'm getting better at being a raven all the time.
It's high time we transform you back.
Should I put some of that on her? Do you have to cook it up?
Before the herb can have an effect, I need to grind it up in a sturdy bowl.
That's a sturdy bowl you picked it out of. Bird bath. How's that for a sturdy bowl?
Giacomo's bird bath is very pretty, isn't it? He said he found it in some fairy ruins in the blood barrier.
There are no birds in the fairy world.
Well, there's at least one big peacock.
Right, but that's all. Your world is much more beautiful.
It's filled with magic fairy water from Nuri's cave.
Here he has a cave. Ooh. Bird bath with wildweed. Oh.
Before the herb can have an effect. That won't work.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. That was the. Goes in anyway. Do I leave it to steep for a while? Oh, a pot.
By Travia, it's all greasy. After I finished eating, I wanted to get to Fahi as fast as I could. I didn't have time to clean up.
Ooh.
If I pull on this, I'll tear the whole curtain. I can barely keep up with the repairs as it is.
Don't
The
do
fabric
that.
is falling apart more and more. Well, as soon as I solve Fahi's riddle, we'll be out of here. Right, Nuri?
I want to see the world.
But first you need your old body back.
He couldn't get his poor old body to move.
That horrible witch. She promised me that I could use the recipe to create a new body for Nuri. I'll never see those silver thalers again. Useless undergrowth. I'll throw it out tomorrow. Books from the School of Magic about spells and alchemy. None of them could tell me how to transform Nuri back. I'll take them back during my next break-in.
Next break-in. What are we missing? Ooh.
For Nuri's salve of healing, I need to mix ground-up whirlweed with salve fat. Salve fat. I can only pray that the Lady Perina will allow the use of simple grease just this once.
Ah.
Good thing I hadn't put it away yet. After I finished eating, I didn't have time. First, I have to grind up the herbs somehow.
Oh, okay.
I can grind up the herb with the knife handle. There. I can't grind up the herb any finer.
Okay.
I can't get it out of there with my bare hands.
You can't? Why can't you? Oh, should I give that back to her?
Look, your necklace with the fairy water. You got used to living without it pretty quickly.
I'm not a fairy anymore, so I don't need fairy water.
What else are we missing? That's the dresser. Ooh. Bird stand, everything. That, the yolk, that, and that. There's a pot, there's a boot. Ooh. It's a cage. Beg your pardon.
You'll have to go back in there tomorrow, I'm afraid. At least until you can fly again. Otherwise, the Andergastrians will see that I'm traveling with a talking raven on my shoulder, and we'd be facing an angry mob again in no time. Master Gwynling's old birdcage.
Okay. What's this?
As a bird catcher, I acquired quite a collection. The skulls hail back to Gwynling's time.
They're disgusting. Why don't you take them down?
We need to keep up appearances. If anyone notices that I no longer catch birds and live with a talking raven instead, they'll burn us alive.
But you saved them all. You ought to let them know.
The bird catcher a hero? They'll all laugh at me. Anyway, I don't care what those idiots think of me.
But if they thought well of you, your life would be good.
Nuri, my life has been good. It was good to travel with you. It's enough for me that you know what we did.
Yet he was all talk at the start. Ooh.
The seer's fairy harp. It's finally destroyed, thank the gods. That accursed harp. If it hadn't been for that, you'd still be yourself.
I don't want to think about that. It was so horrible.
I was still very young when they died. Do you miss your family, Nuri? The fairy queen and king?
A little, but I prefer not to look back. The animals and plants of this world are my family now.
No, I need to take care of Nuri.
So maybe can I take this pot? Oh, I
By
can't.
Travia, it's all greasy.
Can't take it.
But I can't get it out of there with my bare hands.
Ho ho, no.
Good evening, King.
We need to, if anyone knows.
So what do I do to take it out with my not so bare hands? I scoop it out with this.
I tried everything. This bracelet, actually, I'm the one. I had to do it. This bracelet dragged Nuri's soul into the Raven in the first place. Actually, I'm the one who did that. I had to do it, or it would have meant the end of us all. Nuri hasn't been a fairy since last winter. I wonder if I could have saved Andergast if I hadn't transformed her.
Don't torture yourself, Geron. Things are as they are.
But they don't have to stay that way.
Oh.
Don't move. If you move, it'll just get worse. I'll hurry with the salve.
I ain't got something to lift it up with. How about this thing? Can I take this?
I just built that for her last week.
Can I take it?
Yes.
I can't take it. Can I cut a piece of it off?
There's nothing to cut here.
How about this thing? Can I cut it up
I
anymore?
can't grind up the herb any...
Okay, what about... Can I take some of the
It'll
fat?
take half the night to scrape out the fat with that. That doesn't need to be repaired.
Break up some of the cage.
There's nothing to cut here.
How about the...
There's nothing to cut here.
How about this stuff?
Useless undergrowth. I'll throw it out tomorrow.
Curtains.
I'll cut out a rag.
Okay. And with the rag, take some of the stuff out of this or stuff out of this. Let's try this first.
The rag's now covered in fat.
Okay. So let's put the fatty rag, greasy rag, in this.
Perina, please let this fat be enough for Nuri's wound. It's all I have.
Now what?
It's filled with magic fairy water from Nuri's cave.
It is? Oh, hold on. Ah, okay. Salve. Onto Yuri.
There.
Excellent.
And next, we'll make you a fairy again.
Did you meet the man?
Yes, I don't know if I can trust him though. But if Giacomo is right, then soon everything will be like it used to be. You will be as tall as a human again, and together we'll travel across Aventuria and have one adventure after another.
Woohoo!
When do you think I'll be able to fly again?
Let's see how your wound is doing tomorrow. Maybe we can go and practice a little.
Fine. Sleep well, Geron.
Sleep well, and don't worry. Soon everything will be as it was. As the stone over the scarab, so rules the scarab over the stone. Enter if to you the answer is known. If not, then forever your life I'll own.
Ooh. Chapter 2. Oh. Okay. I thought that...
And
oh,
again,
okay.
this time you can do it.
I don't know.
Oh, very good.
Don't be discouraged.
It's pretty.
Think about something nice. Think about...
Chapter 1 complete. Huh. Think about our first meeting, our first adventure, our last night by the campfire, our victory over evil, our boat trip on the Svelte. All our humorous encounters. Yes.
Do you remember that dwarf in the Tash Mountains?
The one with the blue beard? He was funny.
And the knight Bogomil Rathling?
The two of them were always arguing.
And the grouchy fisherman? And Izida, the gypsy? I'm sorry, I forgot about Izida. Do you remember?
Am I supposed to get these in order?
Think about the first time we met. You lived in a lonely cave for years, and together we found a way to finally free you, and all the things you've seen since then.
The first thing I saw were people who wanted to kill me.
Yes, but you've also seen nice things. Nuri, you must have one nice memory. Do you remember...
Our first adventure.
Remember the orcs and how I had to distract them? Wasn't that exciting?
They were eating so peacefully. And then you sent them off to war, just to get rid of them.
They were orcs. Orcs are always going off to war. But all right. It's time you become a fairy again. Do you remember how happy and carefree you used to be?
Of course I remember. That makes me even sadder.
Come on. That's enough for today.
Do I have to go back in the cage?
Unfortunately, yes. With a pet raven on my shoulder, the Andergastrians will immediately take me for a warlock again. I'm glad those days are over.
Oh well.
On the way back, let's stop by Fi's tent. He has such a carefree manner. I'm sure he'll raise your spirits.
Geron,
Yes?
I want to be like I was in former times too. But I don't know how. So much has happened.
We'll manage somehow.
To the campground? Rubble?
Nuri's old cave is under there. When her fairy body was destroyed, the cave collapsed as well. Do you miss your old home?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Nuri's old cave is under there. This is where we met for the first time.
You were trying to catch me like a bird.
How was I to know you'd be so big and so stubborn?
You're a fine one to talk.
You're right. Even if we don't have a whole lot in common, we can certainly agree on that.
Oh, look.
I have to find Fahi. Only he can transform Nuri back into herself.
Yeah, but we have to work out the thing, and I haven't a clue about the, Oh. Oh, okay. Oh. That's not the girl, is it?
Who are those people?
These statues scare me.
They're a bit scary, alright.
They look like the pillars from Fahi's tale. Only
Yes.
with faces.
Hey there. What's going on?
Brider, I can't work like this.
Master Bodia?
This man is disturbing my investigation. Talk to him. Send him away. I have no time for this sort of thing.
I'm sorry, but the School of Arcane Combat of Andergast has closed off this area until further notice. You should go home.
What happened here?
A mob from the city wanted to chase a traveling merchant out of the country, and this is what became of them. Ta-da! Ancient Ptolemaic pillars with an Andergastrian core. No trace of the merchant.
He disappeared?
Yep, now shoo. Otherwise the same thing might happen to you too.
Oh, dear, oh
Everything's
dear.
cursed. Fahi was our best chance to heal you.
But isn't he evil? Didn't he petrify those people?
Nuri, that was an Andergastrian lynch mob. Had I been able, I would have turned them into stone too. He must have left a trace around here somewhere. I'd better find it before the mages from the School of Arcane Combat do. Otherwise, we'll be right back where we started.
To Andergast, around the clearing. Stone pillar.
A stone pillar with a stone sword and an elaborately chiseled beard. If it really were chiseled, that is.
Hey, anybody in there?
She can't hear a thing. And if you keep yelling like that, neither can I. So, please.
It's standing in the exact same place as yesterday. Only the petrified people were added since then. I'm too far away for that. These pillars remind me of Fi's description of the burial chamber. The pillar. It has the face of the butcher woman from the market. What happened here? What happened here? Looks like the knapsack of a wanderer or hunter, not like the bag of a serious mage.
Watch it, lad. I've got sharp eyes.
He's holding a small shell against the petrified woman. I wonder if he thinks he can talk to her that way. It doesn't look like she's going to answer.
From what direction did the attack come?
Are you asking me?
Oh, he's still here. Brider, I expect more martial severity. See to it that he goes away. I can't understand a word this way.
Beat it.
All right. School of Arcane Combat hasn't been accepting women into their ranks for long.
Let's go around
From what
the clearing.
direction did the attack come?
I've seen her in the market a few times. The School of Arcane Combat hasn't been accepting women into their ranks for long.
I don't hear a
Hey,
thing.
is there any
Not a
trace of the
single
merchant?
thought.
Indeed there is. He's carrying a double consumer which he uses to slice up every little pain in the neck that comes along.
What? How do you know that?
I can see it. He's standing behind you, grinning.
How many attackers
Oh,
were
we
there?
still don't know anything. Now please go away. Otherwise I'll be in even more trouble.
Barrier.
Another barrier.
Hey, that rope is there for a reason.
I'm too far away for that.
It's locked.
Looks like somebody didn't like it when I rummaged through their stuff yesterday.
Interesting. Okay.
He's too far away. These pillars remind me of Phi's description of the burial chamber.
But if I go to the... Oh.
I'm not going back until I know where Phi went.
Okay. So, do you think...
What did the mage look like?
What could I do? Oh.
She looks nice.
I know, but we can't rely on that.
Geron, I can't fly again yet.
I know, Nuri. Just rest. I can do it by myself. I don't need magic for that. Nothing's happening. Most locks aren't terribly impressed with my pathetic spell. Better not. That girl is watching out of the corner of her eye.
She's looking straight at you. I don't know what you're on about, car. Okay, let's have a look. Quest log. Find a way to the clearing. What's this? Is this Brida? Brida is a novice in the combat seminar of Andergast, an academy of magic which trains combat magicians for the Royal Army. She's a brilliant student, the top of her class, and terribly frustrated by the drudgery of her life as a combat magician. Oh, look. As the stone over the scarab, so rules the scarab over the stone. Ooh. Enter if the answer is known. If not, then forever your life I'll own. It is said the mask of... yeah, we've read that before, I think, as far as I can remember. What's this? A mighty battle is about to begin. Oh, yeah. Okay. These? Shortly after, Geron leaves Fahi's tent and an angry mob attempts to chase Fahi out of the kingdom. The next morning, they're found petrified into stone pillars in the clearing outside the tent. Find a way to the clearing. We'll not look at a hint just yet. I presume this is the clearing. Yes, around the clearing, and then, of course, this is the clearing. So find a way in.
The spirit must have been petrified as well.
If these really are petrified people, I need to be careful with my spell.
Okay. Put on your bag.
No, I'll leave it like that.
Okay, how about this guy?
The spell won't do any good here.
What am I going to do then?
He's a funny fellow.
Only as long as he doesn't see that I have a talking raven with me.
Hands off! This zone is restricted.
Do I talk to you?
Talking to him is hopeless.
I thought you might call the girl over and I could go around and come around the back. But they're not gonna work, huh?
From what direction did the attack come?
Why is there...
What did the mage look like?
There's two. Okay, hammer. Oh, I see.
There's a hammer peeking out of the back.
Take your paws off my hammer.
What can I do?
The spell won't do any good here.
Well, no.
From what direction did the attack come?
I can't think of anything.
You and me both. Wow. I didn't even walk. I just suddenly appeared there.
I don't hear a thing. Not
Better
a
not.
single
That
thought.
girl is watching out of the corner of her eye.
What can I do? This is confusing.
If only it were that simple to heal her.
How many
I'm not going to
attackers were
destroy
there?
this. It belongs to Nuri. Nothing happened. Obviously, it's neither breakable nor broken. I'm not going to destroy this. It belongs to Nuri.
What have I destroyed
I
Nuri?
should keep the knife away from her. She's hurt enough as it is.
The spirit must have been petrified as well.
Better not. That girl is watching out of the corner of her eye.
Watch it, lad. I got sharp eyes.
Talking to him is hopeless. He's holding a small shell against a petrified woman. I wonder if he thinks he can talk to her that way. It doesn't look like she's going to answer.
I'm completely and utterly lost. Overburden the magician in his investigation, so he needs to have the help of a student. That's what I thought, but he's not helping me.
Talking to him is hopeless.
So how do I?
He's holding a small shell against a petrified woman. I wonder if he thinks he can talk to her that way. It doesn't look
From
like
what
she's going to answer.
direction did the
Oh,
attack
so
come?
if I
What happened here?
I talk to the stone pillar.
What happened here? The pillar. It has the face of the butcher woman from the market. What happened here?
No. What?
There's nothing to cut here. There's nothing to cut here.
How many attackers were there?
If these really are petrified people, I need to be... She wouldn't like that. Nuri, can you do me a favor? Distract the mage. Hop behind the statue and talk to him. I think you're the petrified woman.
Shall I tell him about King Chestnut and the turnip ghosts?
No, just answer his questions.
What questions and what should I say?
Listen.
How many attackers were there?
Ooh. Well, Just one isn't true. 2 is definitely more than 2. Countless? 11 to 15? And there's 3 here.
11 to 15.
What did the mage look like?
What did the mage look like? Too foggy.
It was too foggy. You couldn't see anything.
How do you know all that?
I don't know anything. I'm just guessing.
From what direction did the attack come?
Oh. Northeast sounds pretty good.
It came from the northeast.
And in what direction did they depart?
Into the forest.
Into the forest. Can you remember all that?
I think so.
What a waste of time. It appears the spirit of these peasants has been extinguished once and for all.
Well, okay, the interback. Do I have to? That makes me sad.
Ha! I have contact.
What did she say? Do you need help taking notes?
No, the report isn't difficult. I can memorize it.
What? She didn't stay long enough.
For that, I first need to enter the clearing unseen.
Talking to him is hopeless. Mary, tell the mage something else. When he asks how many attackers there were, tell him... I like 11 to 15. 11 to 15. If he wants a description of the mage, tell him... Okay, so obviously it as well. Mage. What did I go too far? Black cloak. He wore a cloak. Tell him the attack came from the forest. It came out of the forest, and the attackers fled to the northwest. Northwest. Can you remember all that? I think so. The statement has changed. No? No, the report isn't difficult. I can memorize it. Obviously not getting it right, is that it? Mary, tell the mage something else. She could just stay there and stop stopping attackers there were. Tell him... I'm sticking with 11 to 15. 11 to 15. If he wants a description of the mage, tell him... I'm sticking with the black cloak. He wore a cloak. Tell him the attack came from... From behind? No, I like the northeast. It came from the northeast, and the attackers fled... to the northwest. To the northwest. Can you remember all that? Only just. Yet another new story. No? No, the report isn't difficult. I can memorize it. Oh, come on. Mary, tell the mage something else. No, stop popping out, just... When he asks how many attackers there were, tell him... Stick with 11 to 15. If he wants a description of the mage, tell him... Stick with the black cloak. He wore a cloak. Tell him the attack came from... From behind. You were ambushed. It came from behind, and the attackers fled... Into the forest. Into the forest. Can you remember all that? Yes, that's easy. I can make it... Yet another new story. Make it difficult? No? No, the report isn't difficult. I can memorize it. Mary, tell the mage something else. When he asks how many attackers there were, tell him... 11 to 15. If he wants a description of the mage, tell him... Crocus-coloured brooch. He wore a crocus-coloured brooch on his left breast. Tell him the attack came from... From the tent? It came out of the tent, and the attackers fled... I don't know. You couldn't tell. Can you remember all that? I think so. Yet another new story. No? No, the report isn't difficult. I can memorize it. Mary, tell the mage something else. There's no way I can tell you this. How many attackers there were? Tell him... Countless. Say you're overrun. If he wants a description of the mage, tell him... He's a monkey. He had a little monkey on his shoulder. Tell him the attack came from... Oh. Oh yes, it's a man. Oh, from the tent then. It came out of the tent, and the attackers fled... Into the forest. Into the forest. Can you remember all that? Yes, that's easy. That's easy, so yet another new story. No? No, the report isn't difficult. I can memorize it. Such a combination. Mary, tell the mage something else. I wish she'd stop popping out. If she just stayed where she was, it'd be much easier. Just one. It was just one. If he wants a description of the mage, tell him... Yeah, the monkey. He had a little monkey on his shoulder. Tell him the attack came from... From the tent. It came out of the tent, and the attackers fled... To the northwest. To the northwest. Can you remember all that? Yes, that's easy. Oh, no, it's easy. Yet another new story. No? No, the report isn't difficult. I can memorize it. Mary, tell him, mate.
Come out. Come out.
When he asks how many,
Just say 11 to 15.
11 to 15. If he wants a description of the mage, tell him
Crocus-coloured
he wore
brooch.
a crocus-coloured brooch on his left breast. Tell him the attack came from...
Northeast.
It came from the northeast, and the attackers fled
Northwest.
to the northwest. Can you remember all that?
What was he wearing again?
A crocus-coloured brooch on his left breast.
Then let's go.
Okay, hopefully that is confusing enough since she couldn't
Thanks,
remember.
Nuri. You're a big help.
Yet another new story. They came from the northwest and then went where?
Oh, goody.
Ida, what are you? I can't remember all this by myself.
So it's too much information for him to remember. Okay. Phew.
That'll keep them busy for a while.
Yeah, you get round. And get rid of that barrier.
It's firmly in place.
Then use your knife. And into the tent.